Right here I have the 2019 Chrysler 300, and I'm going to argue that this is the most American sedan you can buy today. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the 2019 Chrysler 300 to hopefully explain what makes it so American. I think a good place to start with the 2019 Chrysler 300 has to be styling, and more specifically, I'm actually talking about dimensions, because like a lot of our favorite American sedans, this Chrysler 300 is low, it's long, and it's wide. Here's what I mean. Overall length, 198 inches. For reference, that's actually just about 2 feet shorter than a 2019 Ram pickup truck. This thing is super long. Width, it's about 75 inches wide, and it's a little under 60 inches tall. So yes, indeed, it is very low, very long, and very wide. What those dimensions all add up to is not only a car that fits the standard for American sedans, but it also makes for a car that is particularly heavy. This one weighs just over 4,200 pounds, just like a good old American sedan should. Okay, so it's a large vehicle, we've established that, but how do I think it looks? Well, I actually think it looks pretty good. This one is the S package, which means it gets some sporty appearance bits, like this grille, those wheels, and the spoiler on the trunk lid, but styling is always subjective, guys, so please drop a comment down below, tell us what you think, and if you like the looks or not. It's not just the looks that makes the Chrysler 300 so American though, it's also what's under the hood. Now this is the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6. It makes 300 horsepower, 264 pound-feet of torque. The keen observer will notice that that power figure is actually a slight bump over the standard Chrysler 300 with the Pentastar V6. In the non-S models, it makes 292 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. And it sends that power to all four wheels, in this case, this one's all-wheel drive, through an 8-speed, very smooth automatic transmission. Well, what's better is you can get a hemispherical V8 under the hood of the Chrysler 300 if you want. That is very loud, it makes plenty of power, and that is for sure an American option. I should mention the EPA estimated fuel mileage of this powertrain, just so you have an idea of that as well. According to the EPA, it'll get 18 mpg in the city, 27 mpg on the highway for a combined rating of 21 miles to the gallon. Not great gas mileage, I'm not gonna lie, but that might be the American way as well. It also could be to the fact that this weighs over 4,200 pounds. That's certainly not helping. One thing that American cars have always been good for is a comfortable ride. And I think it's the case these days that cars are getting a lot tighter, a lot sportier feeling, and this isn't exactly a slouch, but I must say the ride is very comfortable. So to prove my point about how quiet it is in here, I'm going 60 on the freeway, and here's a decibel meter. Not only is it big on the outside, it's also pretty big on the inside. And to demonstrate what I'm talking about, I will hop inside the back seat and show you how much room there is back there. Fortunately, this is one thing American sedans are very good at. Look at this. I have so much space. Well, not a lot of headroom. It's pretty low, but I do have quite a bit of legroom and quite a bit of shoulder room. In fact, Chrysler will have you know that there's 106.3 cubic feet of interior volume, which is very spacious, I'm not gonna lie. All right, so utility in the back seat is one thing, but utility in the trunk, that is another area of American specialization. This trunk, well, it's big enough certainly to hold my camera bag, but it's also big enough to hold 16.3 cubic feet's worth of stuff, which means, and I'm going to do this, I should be able to fit in here quite comfortably, although I must admit this opening is a little smaller than I was hoping. I am 6'2" for reference, just so you guys know. This is fun. It's always a good challenge. You know, I don't do a lot of yoga, but I think I'm getting pretty flexible. Yep, okay. Pretty Oh yeah, here we go. We're in. Oh, and we're out. Hold on. There you go. Okay, I think I figured this out. The keys were in my pocket, and I'm suspecting that what it does is it doesn't let you lock your keys in the trunk. So there's the keys. Aha! Hop up here in the driver's seat, and you notice a bunch of other things that just make you feel like this is a true, proper American sedan. The first thing you notice right away is what I'm sitting in, these giant leather seats. They're super plush, super comfortable. They are heated as well, which is super nice because it's cold here in Colorado. Also, the steering wheel, it's thick, it's beefy, it just feels good in your hands. But there's some smaller details that I wanted to point out that really remind me of some more classic American sedans. First and foremost, right above the Uconnect infotainment system, which I'll touch on in a second, is an analog clock. I mean, it's right there on the dashboard. This is something we've seen in American sedans for a very long time, and the Chrysler 300 has one as well. Move down a little bit, and there's some other funny things I wanted to point out to you. In the center console here, there's this little insert tray that you can take in and out, but what I love about it is that it still has coin slots. Now, I know a lot of vehicles still have coin slots, but certainly not this many coin slots. I mean, that is like, you could open a small bank with how many coins you can fit in there. What else is interesting on the interior? There's a funny one, actually. There's this little slot right next to the cup holders, actually right between the cup holders, that's perfect to just wedge your cell phone right into there. It's just kind of a clever spot. One more rather American feature, well, there's no fancy buttons, no electronic parking brakes. Nope, it's a good old-fashioned kick pedal right down by your left foot. There are a couple gripes I have with this interior that I did want to point out just because I think you guys should know. The first is the shifter. It is now a rotary knob shifter like a lot of FCA cars are becoming. This isn't really the end of the world. I mean, it's something you get used to pretty quickly, at least I think so. But if you like a good old-fashioned gear lever, well, this doesn't have it. The other thing that's a little annoying about this interior is that there is gloss black trim all over the place. It's all throughout the center console, it's on the doors, it's on the rest of the dashboard, and you know, gloss black trim pieces, they get scratched easily, they get fingerprinty quite easily, and that's a little bit of a hassle, but otherwise, it's great. I do want to talk about pricing for a brief moment because that's an important part of every car's equation. Now, this Chrysler 300S all-wheel drive starts at around $39,000, just a hair below 39 grand. This one, however, has quite a few options, and the total price at the end of the day is just over $50,000, which is a lot of money, I have to admit, especially considering you don't have a Hemi under the hood. This is the Pentastar V6. Is it worth $50,000? I'm gonna have to let you guys make up your own mind on that, because I certainly must say it has a lot of luxury features, it drives really nice, and you could make the case that this is in fact worth $50,000. But again, drop a comment down below, tell me if you think 50 grand is ridiculous or if it's a fair price. At this point, I think I've made a fair enough case that this is in fact the most American sedan you can go out and buy today. I mean, it's big, it's luxurious, it's comfortable, it's plush. What more do you need? Well, there is one counterpoint that I'm sure a few of you have already picked out and probably written something down below about, and that has to do with where this vehicle is actually built. If you take a look at the Monroney, which conveniently always tells you the final assembly point for a vehicle, you will find that this Chrysler 300 was finished being built in Brampton, Ontario, which is in Canada. But I think it's truly in the spirit of American manufacturing to, in fact, export the building process elsewhere. So even that, I think you could make a case, is pretty darn American. I hope you guys liked this video. It was meant to be fun and also show you everything you need to know about this Chrysler 300. For the Fastlane Car, I'm Mike Curtis. Thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to come back to TFLcar.com for more news, views, real-world reviews, and videos about the most American sedans you can go out and buy today. We'll see you guys next time.